Hey guys, this is gonna be a video. I'm gonna be asking some questions, just about maybe what you guys would recommend doing. So I'm on Sonic Electronics, where I've ordered stuff before. So I turned 16 in mid-April, and I've been talking to like Jonathan Price, and he says that Obsidian Audio would be a good option for my first sub in my car. I'm thinking about getting the 15. It's only $158. Conservatively rated for 600 watts RMS. So I've heard people saying they can handle over 1,000 clean. So I've been looking, and from what I've heard, the Hyphonics Brutus BRZ1 1200 puts out 1,200 watts RMS at 1 ohm. I'm thinking that'd be a good option. But I was wondering, maybe should I wire it to 2, or would 900 maybe not be enough? I could wire it to 1, so that means I would get a dual 2. And if I get a dual 2, then I could run it in my room, break it in for a while first before I put it in my car. So that's the amp. It's 200. I'm just wondering if you guys think it'd be fine for the Obsidian Audio. And then I'm going to show you what I'm doing for my electrical. And by the way, I don't have tons of money, so I don't feel like spending $400 for an amp. So okay, so this is where I was having my primary questions. So I don't even know how the heck you say it, like Shuriken, 1500 amp, 60 amp hours, for 160. I was wondering if it would be enough to use this as my primary battery, because I don't really feel like the battery that's in there right now in my car is pretty bad. It only puts out like 400 amps maybe. So I was wondering if I could just put this under my hood, and it doesn't say anything about deep cycling on it, but I would just be careful and not use it a ton when my car is off. Don't leave doors open and stuff. So I'm just wondering what you guys think about getting this battery for that amp, if it's big enough, and if it would be good enough for my starter battery and still be good enough for my amp too. So I don't want to go crap out on the wire, because I haven't really mentioned this, but the alternator in my car is 80 amps. So that's one other thing. Is this battery too big for 80 amps? I'm guessing no. But I'm gonna go big on the wiring, just to make sure everything's flowing nice. I'm gonna be running 0 gauge off the battery to the back kicker. Then I'm gonna get a little distribution block and right next to the amp, and then go 4 gauge to the amp. But I was wondering if kicker 4 gauge would be enough to do kind of like a big 3, because the wiring that's in there is like 10 gauge right now, and this is definitely really thick wire. I don't plan on upgrading the alternator in that car, because it's pretty high miles. I'm probably going to end up getting our Trailblazer. So, do you think it'd be worth it using 4 gauge, or should I spend them more and use the 0 gauge? Because it's pretty much it's twice as much as the 4 gauge, plus I would need to order more 4 gauge to use with the amp. So, it would just cost more money, and I don't have tons. So, battery terminal for the positive, or that's for the negative. 4 gauge, 8 gauge, and then actually it looks like 0 gauge. I don't know, I'd have to kind of change that. I was thinking about using, if I have extra 0 gauge, grounding to the like the engine block with it. So I was gonna run 150 amp fuse with the 0 gauge, and then 100 amp fuse off the new alternator wire. here's the positive battery terminal. It has 0 gauge, 4 gauge, which would come from the alternator. That would go to the back, and a nose would be for the stock wiring. But I'm just wondering what you guys think about this, if it would be a smart idea, or should I go bigger on the battery, smaller on the battery. Don't recommend a different amp, unless you guys have had horrible experiences with it. But it seems like it'd be pretty good. Pretty good. So I think I'm ordering this maybe March, a month or so before my birthday, so I have time to install it all. And then by the time it's all installed and have the subwoofer box built, then maybe it'll be broken in enough to be bumping hard when I turn 16. So sorry about this talking this whole video. I might put a video up right after this one of the sub playing because no one's home. So my primary questions are: should I do the big 3 with 4 gauge if I'm not going to upgrade my alternator? Will this battery be good for my starter, and will it be big enough for the amp? And I probably won't be running the amp at full power. And then obviously 0 gauge, you can't go too big, because 150 amps is pretty much max you can run a 4 gauge. So I'm just decided to go 0 gauges to be, just so I don't have any voltage drop because of the pretty weak alternator. So yeah, see you guys later.